Hey, what up, guys? So, hitting you up this morning, I want to discuss the weekend recap from the May 4th. We had a couple cards on. I want to discuss the ESPN card first. The undercards, there was a couple good fights, but nobody really big that's well known, just prospects. But the main event was Arthur Beterbiev against, what's his name? This guy's name just kills me. They call him Hot Rod is his name, is his nickname, but it's I think it's Radivoje. Yeah, Radivoje Kaladzic. Anyways, Kaladzic was supposed to really have a legitimate chance of pulling off the upset here against Beterbiev, and Beterbiev just never let Kaladzic really get going. He got caught with a couple good shots, but he pressed him early and really just kept coming right at him with good, hard, looping shots and hooks, and just really was tagging Kaladzic the whole fight, the whole time, and scored a impressive 5th round TKO win. He was just too much for him. He was really getting beat up and hit hard. He did get hit behind the head a few times, but it was a lot of him kind of ducking into it almost. So it wasn't all Beterbiev's fault on the hitting behind the head, but I think he might have got a concussion or something because the ref kept checking him. But Arthur Beterbiev, nice performance right there. Retained his light heavyweight title, and now he's pushing forward, hopefully with a unification against Kovalev or somebody like that next. We'll discuss that in our what's next on them. But yeah, big time performance out of Beterbiev. Congrats on keeping his title. And it probably didn't get viewed by very many people considering Canelo was on the Canelo card. So let's get into the DAZN card. Take a look at what's going on, what happened there. We start with the undercard action. I'll go in order. Saddam Ali got upset against some unknown guy named Anthony Young. 3rd round TKO. Ali he got hurt early, and it's funny, Ali reminds me a lot, and it's not a Muslim thing, I swear to you. It has nothing to do with them being Muslim, but for some reason, he reminds me of Amir Khan. He's very fast, very talented, but he gets caught and hit with too many shots, and he gets hurt easily, and he just got his ass whipped. The guy kept pressing him, and he just does not know how to, he's very good offensively, but he does not know how to play defense in boxing. And you got to learn how to have defense in boxing, how to move your head. And Ali got stopped, so he's going to drop out of my top 15 at welterweight, sadly. And that's a shame for a guy who beat Miguel Cotto, about a year and a half ago. But hey, that's boxing. Next on the undercard, Joseph Diaz Jr. looked really good against little-known Freddie Fonseca. He dominated him, start to finish, scoring a 7th round TKO. No surprise that he won, but for him to carry power up is a good deal. He's sitting down on his punches more when he throws, and he looked really good in this fight. So I'm looking forward to hopefully a Tevin Farmer clash for the IBF title would be good, because those two guys were talking shit to each other anyways during the week. So we'll see what happens, but he had a really good performance. And then Virgil Ortiz came. This guy is a young, undefeated prospect. Took on Mauricio Herrera, who's never been stopped, and a good veteran. But, no surprise that he beat Herrera. Maybe no surprise that he even knocked him out, even though Herrera has never been knocked out. But what surprised me is just the sheer dominance from start to finish over Herrera. That was impressive. He came right at him. It ripped right through him, stopping him. And just a really good, strong performance. Really hurt Herrera. And I think it was a 3rd round stoppage, so that's impressive against a guy who's never been stopped. So he says he wants to go down to 140 and make an impression there before he moves back up to welterweight. Man, and the guy's big too, so we'll see what happens, but a good performance out of that kid. And then the main event, you had Canelo Alvarez against Danny Jacobs. Canelo just really put it on Danny in this one in terms of making every punch count, He outlanded him by a bit, by quite a bit, and then he threw what seemed like a couple hundred less punches, maybe 150 to 200 less punches, but man, Canelo just makes every one of his punches count. And if you want to know what people are supposed to be judging on, effective aggressiveness, that's what Canelo was doing. He was coming forward. He was making every shot count. He was landing body shots. He was landing jabs. And basically a lot of Danny Jacobs, when he stood there and actually traded with Canelo, he landed good shots and was faster than Canelo. But it's when he allowed himself to get pushed back and played defense the whole time, it was a lot of pitter-patter bullshit that was landing for Jacobs. So anybody that thinks Jacobs won this fight is just fucking on something, because he was not aggressive. Yes, he landed some shots, but it was nothing effective, really. It wasn't. He landed some effective shots, and he scored points in those rounds. But I think most of the rounds that I gave him, because I had the score 8-4, which is 116, 112 for Canelo. The 4 rounds that I gave Danny, they were mostly because Canelo wasn't doing as much, you know. And, you know, hey, that's Canelo for you. He's going to take his time. He's not going to throw a shitload of punches. He's going to, you know, make sure his punches count. He's not going to wear himself out. He's had stamina issues before, and I don't think he's going to run into that again. But, man, Canelo definitely is in his prime right now to come out and just handle a much bigger fighter in Danny Jacobs, who missed the weight, by the way, on purpose. He decided to pay $900,000 to $1 million and take that gamble, and the gamble didn't pay off for him. So, you know, great performance out of Canelo, though. Gotta hand it to him. I'll talk about what could be coming next for him when I do the what's next on him next week. But yeah, just a good, solid performance. Really impressed with how Canelo fought. And, yeah, it was a good main event. You know, if you guys do not enjoy boxing, you probably didn't enjoy that fight, because that was a pure chess match, but it was a good chess match against 2 top-tier boxers. And Canelo proved to everybody that he's in his prime, and that right now it's kind of hard to doubt that he's number 3, possibly even number 1 or 2 pound for pound in the world. Look at his resume. Look at who he's beaten. Even if you didn't think he beat Triple G, guys, in either fight, both those fights are damn close, you know. And to be in the ring with a guy who was as good as Triple G, to beat a guy as good as Danny Jacobs, soundly beat him. I mean, he's beaten Miguel Cotto in the past when Cotto was still at his height, you know, somewhat at his height. You got to hand it to Canelo. He's a fucking great fighter. And, you know, just a good, strong performance. So that's it, guys, on a weekend recap for May 4th. This week coming up, we got 3 cards taking place on the 11th. I'll break those down probably tomorrow. All right, True Boxing. Been here with the truth.